Of course, you want an update on what's going on in what used to be very powerful and dangerous and destructive Hurricane Ian. Ian is no more. That storm is weakened to nothing more than a little baby wimpy area of low pressure with sustained winds about 30 miles per hour or less, moving north-northwest through the Triad now. But as these tropical systems move inland and weaken, the precipitation expands outward. So a lot of the measurable rainfall, at least for the moment, associated with the system is well north of the Triad. We've got a heavy drizzle and some patches of light rain across our part of the Piedmont this morning, but look where the heavier rain has been so far this morning. Up around New York City, heavy downpours there, out on Long Island, northern areas of New Jersey as well. Another pocket where the rain is a little bit steadier out over West Virginia. Now again, in our part of the Piedmont, a heavy drizzle. Sometimes you can't see that on radar, but right along the Virginia border, some patches of very light rain. The heavy rain is over with. No more worries about any flooding or anything like that. And the winds, as we'll see in just a minute on some graphics, the winds have really relaxed. So the brunt of this storm for the Piedmont Triad was Friday afternoon and Friday night. And then, of course, the system weakening quickly as it moved inland along the South Carolina coast yesterday. But boy, did it bring some rain on Friday. These are rainfall totals for the calendar day on Friday. Little over 2 inches of rain out at PTI, nearly or a little over 2.5 inches of rain in Burlington, about 1.5 inches in Winston-Salem, 1.84 in Burlington. Asheboro checked in with about 1.25 inches of rain and got some hefty rainfall amounts even out to the west, out over the mountains and foothills, where Wilkesboro had about 1.25 inches, just over 1 inch of rain at Galax, and nearly 1.5 inches over at Mount Airy. Now again, the heaviest rain and the wind came on Friday. Yesterday, these are wind gusts for the calendar day Friday. We had a whopping 51 mile per hour wind gust out at PTI, and that was responsible for downed trees and power lines across our part of the Piedmont. 45 mile per hour wind gust at Winston-Salem, and a 47 mile per hour wind gust over at Burlington. Of course, winds were gusty, but much less out over the mountains and foothills away from the system. Rainfall so far today, not much, generally under 1/2 inch, although Martinsville, still some light rain there, nearly 3/4 inch of rain today. So if you add today's rainfall with the whopping amount of rain that we had yesterday, in general, about 2 to 3 inches of rain fell across our part of the Piedmont. Pretty accurate forecast from your weather team, I'll say. It was a dousing of rain across our part of the Piedmont. And although we're going to keep at least some rain in the forecast right on through the rest of the weekend, it's going to be very spotty and very light. It's going to be really more of a nuisance than anything else. Now, so far today, and this came really just after midnight, between about midnight and 6 a.m., these are the wind gusts for today. Nothing like what we had yesterday with that 51 mile per hour wind gust. In general, so far today, wind gust around 32 at Winston-Salem, 29 in Greensboro, and 30 in Burlington. Martinsville had a wind gust of 30. Note that some of these stations are not reporting a number. They had a wind gust, but also they had power outages. So some of the stations are not reporting this morning. Happy to report no wind gust across the area this morning. The winds have died down. They'll stay pretty weak for the rest of the weekend. I anticipate a wind today out of the west at 10 to 15, may occasionally gust up to near 20 miles per hour. And you can see sustained winds across the area, a 10 mile per hour wind in Winston-Salem, 5 Mile in Greensboro and 6 Mile in Burlington, we can certainly handle sustained winds of that magnitude. And in general, no wind gusts. The wind gusts are gone. Now let's talk about our computer model. What's going to happen with the low that's moving through the Triad now? It's going to move up into southwestern Virginia this afternoon, and then we think it will start to track east across Virginia. That'll be tonight and during the day on Sunday. And I think what's going to happen, although this particular model is not doing a good job showing it, I think around the low we're going to have a little bit of wraparound moisture. We're certainly going to keep a good bit of cloud cover for the rest of the weekend. Rainfall amounts are going to be very light. No more worries about any heavy rain, flash flooding. That threat is absolutely gone, but with the wraparound moisture, a few spotty showers today, tonight, and tomorrow, and we're even going to carry a small chance into the day on Monday as the low pressure slowly moves to the coast near the Tidewater area coming up by Monday. So we'll watch this. It's going to stay a little gray for the rest of the weekend, but only spotty light rain expected through Monday morning. There's where the low pressure will be this afternoon, again tracking east across Virginia, and as it does, a little wraparound moisture, extra clouds, only spotty light showers. But once it moves on through, we're going to see really some great weather here in our part of the Piedmont as we go through the new week. I think we're pretty deserving of some nice weather. But for the rest of the weekend, we are going to keep some extra clouds, just off and on scattered light showers for our part of the Piedmont. It will be a little breezy. Note the winds today out of the west at about 10 to 15, may occasionally gust up to near 20, certainly not producing any problems at all. And after staying in those chilly 50s yesterday, I think low and mid 60s. And we're going to keep a lot of clouds today. If you happen to see a peek of the sun, consider yourself very lucky. And then off and on scattered mainly light showers overnight tonight as temperatures drop into the mid 50s. Again, any rain for the rest of the weekend is really not going to accumulate very much at all. All right, let's talk about the 7-day. It's continuing to get better. We keep the extra clouds through midday on Monday. 40% shower chance today and tomorrow. We'll reduce that down to about a 30% chance coming up on Monday. 64 the high today. We're looking at low 60s coming up on Sunday and Monday. And then once this leftover low pressure area finally moves across the area, across Virginia and off the Tidewater area by Monday, we're really going to start to see more in the way of sunshine. And that's going to help to finally warm temperatures back up. We're looking at upper 60s coming up on Tuesday. I think we'll be near 70 coming up on Wednesday. How about temperatures warming up into the lower 70s by Thursday? And Friday, we're back up around 70, just a slight cool off. But look at this, after Monday morning with just a tiny shower chance, the rest of the week is looking good. Overnight lows will cool just a little bit on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday morning. We're looking at temperatures dropping into the 40s across our part of the Piedmont. So again, I want to kind of recap what's going on. Nothing. That's great. Really nothing going on. The heavy rain threat, flash flooding threat is gone. Wind gusts, damaging winds, gone. We're going to see mainly light winds across our part of the Piedmont for the rest of the weekend. And again, the spotty light showers that we will have right on through early Monday are going to be just that. They're not going to accumulate very much in the rain gauge at all. So definitely good news. It's cleanup time. We've had some downed trees and power lines, some roads blocked as well. So if you got to travel today, make sure you're extra careful. Keep an eye out on the roadways as you drive around for some of those downed trees and power lines and things like that as well. I'll have another update and tell you that things are getting better coming up at 10 o'clock this morning. I hope you have a nice day here in our part of the Piedmont.